promoting of unity, not forties, championing the cause of technology. The shining example, the pride of Nigeria. With the blessings on our side, we shall go places.
Shall we applaud the Federal University of Technology, Akure, as we are having a seat, the best Federal University of Technology in Nigeria. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you all to the 2024 Annual Convention and Lecture of the FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide. Once again, a big round of applause for FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide. We have in our guest this beautiful afternoon, while we are still expecting the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, and also our Vice Chancellor and other principal officers. I would like to introduce and bring to the top table some of our guests. And of course, the first person I would like to introduce and bring to this top table is our host for today. He is the President, FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide, Engineer Adeyemi Bello. To join him, I would like to invite our guest lecturer for today. He's one of us. Because he's a Futarian, we loan him to where he is right now. That is Professor Francis Igbasan. He is the Vice Chancellor, Macpherson University, Ogun State, Nigeria. You are welcome. He's our guest lecturer. I would also like to introduce and bring to this side of the divide our former registrar of this great institution. I refer to him as a brand new professor, Professor Mrs. Modupe Ajayi. You are welcome, ma. And also to join her on this side of the divide is Professor Ayo Olajuigbe, Director of FUTA Advancement Center. Also, I would like to request Professor Olasalau, Director of Quality Assurance, to please to the high table. And also Professor Oluwaseyi Awodele, Director, Academic Planning, FUTA. I will also like to bring to that side of the divide, specially, no, she's going to the other side, especially the senior special advisor to His Excellency Mr. Governor on Gender Matter, Chief Mrs. Olamide Falano. She's a great alumnus of this great institution. Yes, you are welcome, ma. As the special advisor to Ondo State Governor on Gender Matters. I would like to quickly recognize Professor Ayesomi. You are welcome, sir. I also want to recognize and welcome one of our Enga Owolabi. Please, can you move to this side? Engineer Enga Owolabi. You're welcome, sir. And also, I would like to recognize and welcome all FUTA North America alumni. You are all welcome. I would like to recognize and welcome Professor Gbenga Onibi, former Director, Student Affairs, former Director, Academic Affairs, FUTA. We also have in our midst one of our erudite professors, Professor Mrs. Mary Taiwo Lowo-Okere. You are welcome. Thank you, ma. And also, we like to recognize the Head Parks and Garden FUTA, Alhaji Ali. You are welcome. We also have somebody representing the Directorate of Corporate Affairs, Corporate Communications, FUTA. That's Aremo Olatokunbo Olakunle. You are welcome. Thank you. Without wasting much of our time, I would like to invite the President FUTA Alumni Worldwide, Engineer Adeyemi Bello, for his welcome speech. Please let's applaud him as he's coming to the podium.
Thank you. Greatest Rotarians, let me sincerely, on your behalf, welcome our visitors present here today. I start from the Governor of Ondo State, His Excellency. Okay, you are welcome. That's the representative of the governor just coming. We have the ST on education. You are welcome, man. And we have special advisor on gender matters as well. Chief Mrs. Oche. Our guest speaker, Professor Igbasan, who is also here to do justice to today's topic. I want to also appreciate all the principal officers present here on the high table, Professor Awoyemi, Professor Salau, Professor Mrs. Ajayi, Professor Ayo, and of course, one of us. Maybe some of you can wish this man in white. That is Engineer Benga Owolabi. You must have been seeing his signatures in this university. You must have been seeing it, but probably you've not met him. This is that man who has been spending so much on scholarship. The last one he did, 141 Rotarians were given scholarship. And he's been doing it for how many years now? And he's here with us here. So passionate when it comes to alumni matters. You're welcome. So I want to thank everyone who, Professor Aisome, I welcome you, Alaji Ali, my one and only professor, Olowokere, I welcome you, my IPP, I recognize you. Thank you all for coming. Yeah, today's event will be so much, it's a bit brief, and we've all seen what the topic is all about, what our speaker is going to do. Because to us, as an alumni, after the government introduced NEL Fund, we've been asking ourselves that question: what should be our priority? Yes, we've been talking to people in scholarship universities. Let's do this university. And of course, we are still having infrastructural decay. We now ask ourselves, where is our priority? Should we continue with the scholarship? Or should we leave that to the government? The government is saying scholarship is there, you can access it. So we can leave that to the government so that the student can access it. Or we now say, no, we have to continue with the scholarship and leave the infrastructure. And that's why we look for somebody who help us as a body to know what our priorities will be. Even the next one, how it is for our students and all that. So that's why we are calling Professor Igbasan to come and do just this topic. Current Vice Chancellors in my party University in Ogun State, and I think all of us here, all of us, will have good time when you heard this speech. Once again, I thank you, and you are sincerely welcome for 2024 Alumni Professional Lecture. Thank you, and God bless you.
I will sustain the applause for the National President, FUTA Alumni Worldwide. I would like to specially recognize and welcome the representative of His Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State. They will be represented by Dr. Wumi Ibnawole, Special Advisor on Education. Now, welcome, ma'am. I would like to place on record on behalf of our Vice Chancellor, there is a council meeting going on and she cannot leave the council meeting. But I'm sure that if she can finish, she will join us before the end of this lecture. Let me also recognize a member of council, former President FUTA Alumni Worldwide, Dr. Laiton Adeshomoju. Now, welcome, sir. And I also would like to recognize and welcome former Chairman Committee of Deans FUTA, Professor Ayesomi. Once again, you are welcome. At this point, I would like to invite His Excellency, Mr. Governor, the Governor of Ondo State, ably represented by the Special Advisor on Education, Dr. Wumi Wole for his address. Thank you.
All right. So to correct Madam, foundation is Lawole. Good afternoon, Ms. Fred. Global President, I recognize you. Guest lecturer, my brother, English lecturer, Professor Igbasan. Good afternoon. Great alumni, great Rotarians. Good afternoon. I bring one of excellence. Here, where we one, zero, soundingly. But in order to be here with you to celebrate another alumni annual lecture series. Alumni, great alumni. Have mother say, I'm very good. Papa is on good. And also get it elaborate. Not easy to canvas all the 18 local governments in the state. So it's an act to represent it, and I'm very delighted to do so. So good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is a remark from Mr. Governor. So anywhere you see where I said I, that's not me. I'm just listening to the message of Mr. Governor. Now, it says, let me read. Sorry. The reputation of educational institutions lies on its past, present, faculty, and staff also play a vital role. The reputation grows when it keeps producing successful graduates continuously who are intelligent, innovative, and effective in their field. Alumni can help schools sustain their infrastructural development and also provide scholarships to indigent students who are struggling with financing their education through their donations and voluntary help. Alumni can also be helpful in providing valuable financial, intellectual, and human resource. A large percentage of money that institutes require comes from alumni. It will help those institutions remain competitive. We can provide their students newer technology, better facilities, and nicer campus. The topic of this year's annual lecture is very apt, and I'm very certain that the guest speaker, Professor Francis Igbasan, will do justice to highlight and review the possible areas in which alumni can provide a strong support to educational institutions in enhancing quality education. Former students or alumni of an institution can play an immensely positive role in higher education transformation. I wish all alumni are here so that they would actually really know the role that they will be able to play in enhancing FUTA. I mean, alumni worldwide play very important in the United States. I am sure most institutions get the ranking we get because the alumni they support the institution. Former students or alumni of an institution can play an immensely positive role in higher educational institutions. The alumni have the great potential to conduct fundraising and equally great ability to build skills and knowledge sharing networks. Therefore, strategic for institutions of higher learning to establish and maintain good relations with its alumni by inviting them in decision-making, network building, and development processes towards the overall advancement of the institution. To do so, it is vital for the institution to have established open and direct communication channels with alumni and ensure that alumni representatives provide managing body of the institution, I am sure, as a representative of the alumni of the campus. In addition to alumni donation, we have many other purposes such as being for building institution ambassadors, recruiting prospective students, and mentoring current ones, providing assistance to students in career advancement, helping alumni to stay connected with each other, and providing valuable feedback to the institution. An efficient alumni network with external stakeholders can assist the institution in building its reputation. The alumni are truly a strong support to the institution. An active alumni association can contribute to academic matters, student support, as well as mobilization of resources, both financial and non-financial. But to achieve this, firstly, education must be detached from political influence and politicians. Secondly, alumni need to be convinced that their hard-earned money will not fall prey to corrupt practices and will be used wisely for betterment and growth. Nigerian Education Loan Fund is a pivotal financial institution established under the Student Loan Access to Higher Education Repeal and Reenactment Act of 2024. It was signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on 3rd of April 2024, making a historic step towards ensuring sustainable higher education and functional skill development for Nigerian students and young people. In spite of this initiative, an active alumni association can still contribute to academic matters, student support, as well as mobilization of resources. The establishment of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund must not debar alumni associations from contributing to fund scholarship schemes that can relieve indigent or brilliant students in need. Same vein, infrastructural facilities in majorities of public universities in Nigeria are in short supply. It is noticeably clear that Nigerian universities have teaching and learning facilities that fall short of the international best practices and Nigerian national minimum standards. The state of these facilities is disturbing, and apart from the fact that they are grossly inadequate, most of them are in shambolic state, comatose, obsolete, and out of use, while many others are improvised. In short, many Nigerian universities is discovered that physical facilities for teaching and learning are inadequate, substandard, overstretched, overcrowded, and most times impoverished. Environments for training like this are sources for a loss of values and confidence. They demoralize and humiliate the lecturers and students. The lecturers and students are without self-esteem, and the confidence to work hard for the best to drive innovations and development of the nation is discouraged. Therefore, alumni associations must continue to support their institutions in the area of infrastructural development, as government cannot do it alone. Then, we want to congratulate the global leadership of the Alumni Association Akure and wish them continued success. Thank you. I submit, Mr. Governor.
Thank you very much, the representative of His Excellency. We appreciate you and we appreciate His Excellency. Permit me to recognize and bring to the top table the representative of our Vice Chancellor, the Deputy Vice Chancellor Development, Professor Sunday Oluyamo. You're welcome, sir. And quickly, I would like to recognize and welcome Director St. Futa, Professor Doni Daramola. You're welcome, ma'am. And also, we have in our midst the Dean, School of Postgraduate Studies, African Aviation and Aerospace University, Abuja. He's also an actor. By the time I introduce him, you will see him and know him. This great institution. Thank you very much. Please, can you move to the front rows, please? The front seats. Thank you very much. At this point, I would like to bring to the podium our guest lecturer for today, Professor Francis Igbasan, Vice Chancellor, Macpherson University, Ogun State. But before he delivers his lecture, I just want to give a very, very brief summary of his citation. Thank you. Professor Francis Adegbaye Igbasan is an erudite scholar, an indefatigable researcher, a registered animal scientist, a prolific writer, a seasoned university administrator par excellence. He is the second substantive vice chancellor of Macpherson University, Seriki, Sotayo, Ogun State, Nigeria. Born at Oderele in Irele local government area of Ondo State nearly 6 decades ago, Professor Igbasan obtained his primary school leaving certificate in 1974 and excelled at the secondary school certificate examinations in 1982. He gained admission into the Federal University of Technology, Akure Futa, where he studied and obtained a Bachelor of Technology degree in Animal Production and Health, graduating with a first-class honor in 1988. He proceeded to the Premier University, the University of Ibadan, in pursuit of more knowledge. He earned a master's degree from the university in 1990. The Don moved to North America, where he studied and graduated with a Doctor of Philosophy degree from the University of Manitoba, Canada, in 1997. Igbasan joined the services of FUTA in 1991 as an assistant lecturer and rose through the ranks to become a professor in 2013. He was the Director of Academic Planning and Quality Assurance, Olusegun Agabu, University of Science and Technology, Okitipupa, formerly Ondo State University of Science and Technology. He was later appointed the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the institution, and in August 2022, Professor Igbasan assumed office as the second substantive Vice Chancellor of Macpherson University, Ogun State. Aside his pedagogical assignments in Ivory Tower, he has held many management positions outside the university system. He was once the chairman of Ondo State Scholarship Board for over 5 years and was reputed to have transformed the institution. He was also a former chairman of Ondo State Teaching Service Commission with over 15,000 workers under his watch. He was a board member on Ondo State Oil Producing Area Development Commission, member on Ondo State Policy Planning and Implementation Committee, member Governing Council, Harvest-Time Bible College, Akure, council member, Wesley University, Ondo State, and member, Macpherson University Governing Council, among others. Professor Igbasan is happily married to Mrs. Omolara Ellen Igbasan, and the marriage is blessed with 4 wonderful children. His Excellency, our Vice Chancellor, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Professor Francis Igbasan to deliver the 2024 annual lecture of the FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, madam. Let me first and foremost acknowledge God for the endurance forever. After this, I have done with it. Let me acknowledge the presence of the governor, who is ably represented by my sister, Dr. Awoli, Special Advisor on Education, and the Vice Chancellor, also ably represented by the Deputy Vice Chancellor of Development, Professor and deans and directors that are here, and my sister, Special Advisor on Gender Issue, Planner. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for having me. And my president of FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide. Thank you very much. Well, I thank God today. Topic of our lecture is as the challenges of Alumni Challenges, balancing infrastructural development, scholarship, and the Nigerian Education Loan Fund. With a great pleasure that I stand before everyone present here in this auditorium. Feels really good to be back home. 4 decades ago, I was a student on this campus. Over 3 decades now, I joined the services of Utah. This institution made me what and whom I am. I sincerely thank Futa and those lecturers who had contributed immensely to my career life. Obvious, so much have changed between then and now. I'm delighted with the development and growth on our campus. And I want to specifically thank all the vice chancellors, past and present, for their developmental skills. Let me therefore especially appreciate our innovative and dynamic vice chancellor, Professor Akidike, and by extension, all members of the university management. I want to also appreciate all members of staff of this great institution who consider it worthy to place this occasion with the gift of their presence. I say a big thank you. I also wish to publicly celebrate Futa Alumni Association Worldwide for the 2024 annual convention. Futa alumni are proud now. Great Futarians. Great Futarians. I express my gratitude to the president of Futa Alumni Association Worldwide, Engineer Adeyemi Labiu Bello, who paid a courtesy visit on me on Tuesday, 19 November in Jericho Tayo State. I appreciate you on the success of this annual convention, and all members of the association are also worthy of loud applause for putting this important event together and extending invitation to me as the guest lecturer at the auspicious 2024 annual convention. Thank you for your honor. I devote it. I choose to honor this invitation for two main reasons, despite my tight schedule. I shall. First, I am a bona fide proud member of the great association. I strongly believe in the potentials and philosophy that a great alumni relation is indispensable to the advancement, sustenance, and positioning of any university. For me, Futa Alumni Association is one big family to which I am happy to belong. I was once the vice president of this noble association during the time of Professor Inyefredi. I love the unity and the oneness in Futa Alumni Association. Thank you, Mr. President, for doing it. The second and the final reason was because alumni matter very dear to my heart, since we cannot expect government at the federal and state levels, in most cases, to attend to the ever-growing needs of the university. I sincerely believe this is the reason why this year's lecture topic, Alumni Challenges, balancing infrastructural development, scholarship under the Nigerian Education Fund network was apt and timely. The history of alumni association in the world is as old as educational institutions themselves, and FUTA alumni was not different. Since FUTA turned out the first set of graduates in 1987, that was the set of Professor Ayesa. The pioneer set formed the foundation upon which the association was built. With their mega contribution to their few numerical strengths in the mid-80s, the FUTA Alumni Association has grown in leaps and bounds, expanding into many state chapters at home, Nigeria, and in diaspora. I could recollect where we were. I was the deputy or the vice president. We went to various states to inaugurate different chapters. When Port Harcourt, we went to Warri, Ibadan, and some other places to inaugurate the chapter, FUTA Alumni Association chapters. Today, FUTA Alumni Association worldwide is a shining example and a reference point in organizations and various corporate management. Over the years, I admire and I am still admiring FUTA alumni operations. This operation, in my view, is testament to its commitment to excellence. I am very much aware that our alumni association, under the leadership of Engineer Adeyemi Bello, is running the mission of connecting FUTA alumni to the university and to one another to provide valued services to members and to support the university's mission of teaching and community development. This is a worthy move, and such legacy would greatly help in nurturing and mentoring of new experts. So today, we gather to discuss infrastructural development, scholarship, and Nigerian Education Loan Fund, among other pressing challenges facing our alma mater in particular, and Nigerian educational system in general. We therefore explore the delicate balance between infrastructural development, scholarship, and Nigerian Education Fund loan. Let's go into the infrastructural development. Say which way in Nigeria? Which way FUTA alumni? In most cases, my presence on any university campus in the last 2 decades is often incomplete if I have not paced around campus to see the state of existing infrastructure and to check if there is any ongoing one. 2 days ago, when I came around, I drove towards Aflock, and I saw this solar village that is being put together. I moved around the campus to see the pastoral development that FUTA has witnessed in the last 2 months or few. That is the normal thing I do anywhere I go to campuses. I am not an engineer, and I may not want my life to start. But I can say, and I know, the value of solid infrastructure to an institution. Integrity of the structure is important. I've had opportunity of also visiting some universities outside the country, UK, Europe, America. Recently, 2021, I was in Cambridge University, University of Cambridge. See the structure that has been put together. 13th century, University was established 13th century, so that the structures are still there, very solid, very, very solid. historical, academic, and administrative structures that were built centuries ago still standing tall and strong. Back home in Nigeria, especially at the University of Ibadan, did my master's in UI. Those halls of excellence, let me pick actual laboratory and systems. They are still there. They were built to last. We must reflect about the future of our institution outside the abundance of money. Infrastructure is key because people, students, and staff will not live and learn in space. Personally, I often ask myself this almighty rhetorical question like, what infrastructural legacy are we bequeathing to the generations coming campus in the year 2044? And this is 20 years' time. How will our campus be by the time the child is born last month in October 2024 is ready and mature for university education? The environment is suitable and convenient for learning and living. Problem with our university. Problem with our university. It is a known fact that all the tertiary institutions have one common problem, and that is tolerating. State of infrastructure in many universities remain a pressing concern. Lecture halls are low, then library often lack up-to-date information resources for teaching, learning and research, regular database for academic research, and laboratory facilities are sometimes obsolete. This is why public universities are churning out graduates minimal skills via their study. No longer new. Everyone in Nigeria, no vice chancellor, especially in public university, to the best of my knowledge, is receiving the appropriate funding for infrastructural development. Indeed, the poor state of infrastructure in our campuses is a big heartache, not only to the university management, but to the alumni body and other stakeholders of the university. Just recently, just about 2-3 weeks ago, Vice Chancellor of a popular university paid a courtesy visit to me in my office and said the tourism infrastructure is an asset among the university managers. Problem have come to us. This is very right. To the University of Maduguri in the far north eastern Nigeria, the University of Calabar at the extreme end in south-south geopolitical zone, Kuri, Sip, and go to UI, go to Ife, go to anywhere. See that of an infrastructure and nothing that goes back. The story is the same. The overhead costs of running university system is swallowing almost all the revenue. The last 6 months, the Vice Chancellor Development cooperating, universities are paying huge amount of money. I don't know how much the guys pay. When I was doing job this my place, August 2020, we're paying 5 million to 7 million naira for work. But around the pay this year, bill of 25 million naira was brought. So, but still, from 5 million to 25 million. This, when I discussed with some of my counterparts, for example, when I got this bill, I called the Vice Chancellor of Babcock University. He asked me, I said, this is, how much is your, I said, mine is 25 million. I said, my own is 183 billion naira. I called a friend, another vice chancellor, Covenant University, not in a private institution, vice chancellor of private institution, and said this, how much is yours? The mine is my own 350 million. And see, university pays 3 billion naira per month. Not on electricity consumption, other services are there. Other services. So it is worthy to mention that government through the Central Education Trust Fund provided some form of intervention. This still lead to job. First, are paying what is their money. How will they pay? So, Mr. President, Alumni Association, and not outside the soul of this country, the story about infrastructural development, as government, alumni groups, and some stakeholders have come to the aid of many institutions. For example, Harvard University, United States of America, an active alumni group that has worked diligently to amass resources to the university. According to the information on the university website, association's current value is $20 billion, which is at 3.8 billion naira. Some represent about 40% of the university endowment. Yale University, alumni has estimated value of endowment of $41 billion. That's 5.6 billion naira. Massachusetts Institute of Technology has 8.5 billion has contributed $350 million. Likewise, United Kingdom, every Oxford, London School of Economics, and others can boast of billions of pounds donation to alumni association for the advancement of the and to address some of these challenges. So, Mr. President, there is this challenge now I know cannot be no run away from. In Nigeria, we are obviously far from the standard set by the alumni associations of universities that I started at the time. We all know that these are institutions established some centuries ago and have involved strong alumni relations, culture, and systems that have not only proved but can attain their standard with time. I believe nothing is impossible. Therefore, I think we should all join our efforts to reach out to all total alumni at home and in diaspora. Mr. President, let us reach out, talk to us, not only even those outside. Let us come together. This is necessary because facilities are essential for quality education and research. There is a limit to which we can rely on government. Alumni associations are called upon to address that. Investing in infrastructure is vital because it creates a conducive environment for learning, research, and innovation. Wherever the challenge lies in mobilizing resources sustainably. Generally speaking, the issue of the infrastructure here has three major dimensions. We are talking about green infrastructure, there are three dimensions to it. These are aging infrastructure, a paucity of resources, and increasing and aging infrastructure. Most of the charter institutions owned and financed by government often struggle to survive. After the structure provided at the take-off or at best constructed within the first 2 years of commencement, struggle for maintenance and survival are often intimidating and unsurmountable. So, as the students being admitted in universities are increasing, the resources available to these students are getting smaller and smaller. And government resources say that universities should be autonomous. That is their skill. However, do we expect universities to be autonomous when the government has not done the needful for facilitating massive and social development? Government-owned institutions. We are all aware of the latest university ranking in Nigeria and in Africa. Each rated about 3 privately owned institutions higher than most federal universities due to a massive infrastructure, research, and among other things. Mr. President, an alumni association cannot run away from assisting that infrastructure. One other point is that we have universities are experiencing paucity of financial aid. Most universities in Nigeria are broke financially. I know that is also. This is understandable, considering the limited resources at the disposal of the management. Let me share my experience. In 2023, I was in Lagos. In Pond. I went to this multinational company. After I have addressed, I went to my farm. After I have addressed it, CMD, put there.
All what I said that the multinational company should do for us. You know, the man told me, he said, VC, say what you are looking for is within your university. I was actually looking at him. I said, if it is within my university, why should I even come here? Why should I come? He said, how much do you have in your endowment? How much do you have in your endowment? I look at the bossa. I said, bossa, how much do you have in our endowment? Because you are in charge of money. He said, okay, our money there is less than 10 million. He said, 10 million. And the man said, how much do you charge students? Endowment fund. I said, well, we don't charge students endowment fund. What we normally do is that people will just come. Probably they want to put money there, they want to give money to the university, we put the money there. When we got back home, the following Monday, during management meeting, I told my people, I said, we want to charge students endowment fund. We started in 2023-2024 academic session. We realized 120 million naira. This year, we have realized over 200 million. And that's almost 320 million naira. Sometimes, vice chancellors must also devise way of managing the university. And what is the population of my university? Less than 2,500 students. People will call it, this is a private university where you can use that. Only rich people will take their award to It's not like that. This is a small money, considering the population of Futa. If I are charging 10,000 naira endowment per student, I can assure you, within 2, 3, 4 academic sessions, you garner a lot of money. And this can be used to develop the university. The 320 million naira we have gathered, if you want to invest it, I can tell you, in another 2, 3 years, we'll get a lot of money from it. So, vice chancellors will not only rely on government, must also devise ways of managing the system. Well, the other point about the infrastructure is increasing student enrollment. Public universities have continued to encourage huge patronage despite despite many private universities in this country. Just last week, I called a friend who is the vice chancellor of a state-owned university. I wanted him to assist me to admit a student. And he told me that I've exhausted my quota for this year. I said, how many, what is your quota? He said 6,000 students. And that we have applied to JAM to give us additional 1,000. And when we get this 1,000, I will consider your candidate. Many vice chancellors do not consider the carrying capacity of their institutions. That's what we call carrying capacity. Facility that we're supposed to use for 50 students, you will bring 100 students there. This is areas where we have missed it. Exactly. If your quota is 5,000 or 6,000, and even this 6,000, you don't even have facilities to train this 6,000, you are still applying for another additional 1,000, and that 1,000 is added. You have not added facilities that will take care of that 1,000 students. So these are some of the areas we have missed it. Our carrying capacity. We must stick to our carrying capacity. Every university has her own carrying capacity. So if we stick to our carrying capacity, we will be able to maintain the infrastructure that we have on ground. Mr. President, let's talk about the scholarship. Student scholarship. Scholarships are an essential tool for social equity. They empower students from unprivileged backgrounds to access education and fulfill their potentials. There are many indigent students in nearly all tertiary institutions in Nigeria, and there are few resources in the cover of the most universities to go around. Most universities don't even offer scholarship. I'm sure of that. Most of them. The state has obligation to assist indigent students. There are social services in developed countries. There are social services that will take care of their children that are unable to fund their education. But we do not have that in this country. But universities are incapacitated financially, and this is understandable, as educational institutions are often taught afterthoughts. That is, after the government has taken the lion's share of the budget every year, how much is being given to the university education. This year is about 7%, that is 7.9%, instead of the 13% that is recommended by the UNESCO. Let me deviate a little at this juncture. After the president removed the fuel subsidy last year, a friend engaged me and predicted that public university fees would pass the dream of some students, indigent students in our public universities. Today, all federal universities in Nigeria have taken their tuition fees far above the minimum wage, and I dare say above the reach of poor Nigerians, whose incomes are continuing to go down. The difference between public and private today, it is not much. Therefore, structures must be put in place to provide financial aid for deserving indigent students, but indigent and brilliant students, in order to keep their hope of a better tomorrow alive. Alumni, this is where alumni must come in. Alumni must establish endowments and contribute to scholarship funds to support these students. Mr. President, let me say this. You cannot leave the aspect of scholarship and say you want to concentrate on the aspect of infrastructure. You need to balance this. Actually, I was impressed, I think, at the beginning of this year or sometime this year, when you called for funds to some of our indigent students. I contributed to that. That you should continue to do that. It is a good move. So that alumni all over, not only in Nigeria, all over, can contribute to the scholarship endowment. And there are students that are looking up to us, that they want us to come and assist them. Some cannot even afford 1 million. 1 million a day. So we must assist them. Today, all federal universities in Nigeria have their tuition fees as said that. Therefore, structure must be put in place to provide financial aid for deserving indigent and brilliant students in order to keep their hope of a better tomorrow alive. Alumni must establish endowments, contribute to scholarship funds to support these students. The challenge here is sustainability. Sustainability. As I have mentioned, we need to sustain it. Lastly, let me talk about the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, which was established last year. Nigerian Education Loan Fund. Well, federal government deserves some form of accolades for the establishment of Nigerian Education Loan Fund, which is the creation of the Access to Higher Education 2023. It is a good one, but do they have the political will to actually implement this? The political will is very important. Very, very important. Let me say this. It is interesting to know that so far, the agency in charge has disbursed some funds in proportion, from fund to a proportion of Nigerian students. Earlier this year, late this year, I think like in November, the managing director of that body, Dr. Akitude Soya, announced that the agency has disbursed 11 million. Government budgeted 96 billion for this project. They have only disbursed 11 billion. 11 billion. What about the remaining money? That's what I said, the political will to actually implement it. The president meant well, but what about those administrators that are there? We even discovered that even the first disbursement, FUTA students were not captured. FUTA students were not captured. It was later they released about 34 million naira for FUTA students. Most of those that were captured are from the northern part of the country. People from the east, I can tell you categorically, less than 10% of the people from the southeastern Nigeria enjoyed this. So it is very important. We must not leave the future of our children in the hands of these people. What I think the Alumni Association can do in this area, Mr. President, is that it's raising awareness, educating students and parents about the availability availability and terms of the fund, and supporting the payment mechanism. Helping beneficiaries understand the importance of the payment to sustain the fund, and monitoring and accountability. Partnering with institutions and government bodies to ensure transparency in fund disbursement and utilization. In conclusion, alumni worldwide must be encouraged and engaged on the need to support the alma mater. Many institutions are generating huge resources from alumni relations alone. And in some universities, alumni funds are assisting in the provision of scientific breakthroughs that would ultimately redefine humanity and make the world a better place to live. FUTA Alumni Association worldwide must be poised to engaging and providing some funds for scholarships and infrastructural development, among others, to the university. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenges before FUTA Alumni Association is achievable if we come together. As alumni, we must come together. One area I want to mention before I give my appreciation is that, Mr. President, it is important that the association prioritize relationship building. Relationship building is the sense that identify alumni, visit them, be part of their life. Let me give an example. I graduated from University of Manitoba about 27 years ago when I got my PhD. I can tell you, every year I will receive bulletin from that university from the alumni group. As part of the bulletin, they will ask me to donate $20, which I have faithfully been doing. Faithfully, $20 every year. Every December, I will get that bulletin. And if that is done to thousands of people, students that have passed through the university, you know that amount will translate. This is something that FUTA alumni can do. And I want you to do it. Once again, let me thank you for listening.
Thank you very much. I think Professor Igbasan has done justice to that lecture, the topic. I will now hand over the microphone to our Vice Chancellor, who is the chairman of this occasion, for a comments and also question and answer session.
Grace Futarian. Is that one standing on the single leg? Great Futarians. I think that is better. I bring you warm greetings from my principal, the first women Vice Chancellor, dynamic leader, and forthright leader, a round peg in a round hole, especially in the administration of FUTA at this very period. Professor Adenike Temidayo Oladiji, who should have been here and very passionate about the issue of alumni association in FUTA, but for the mere fact that as we speak, council session is ongoing, and for us, we know how important it is for the Vice Chancellor to be right at the meeting. So she has requested that I bring her warm greetings to you and represent her at this occasion. She has to take permission for me to get out of the meeting. Our respectable governor, Governor Orimisan Ayedatiwa, Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa. Sometimes some of us, we want to call that name, all the names, because each of the names attracts some sort of, goodwill, godliness, and everything good. He is represented here by the Special Assistant on Education, our Dr. Wumi Olawole. Permit me again to recognize our friend, Chief Mrs. Olamide Falana, the Special Assistant on Gender Issues, Special Advisor on Gender Issues. Yeah, thank you very much. You've been very supportive as far as alumni is concerned. I want to greet the alumni president worldwide, Engineer Yemi Bello, for the wonderful work that you are doing in FUTA via the Alumni Association worldwide. I can attest to some of these things that the lecturer has said. Sorry, I'm not giving any other lecture. I will just allow it because we don't have all the time. But I have to mention that for the past 1 year, some months, that I have been in management. I've discovered the giant stride. I've discovered the willingness to do. I've discovered the zeal and the push Engineer Yemi Bello has been put in, which have been given remarkable reward in the society, I mean FUTA. Our lecturer talked about scholarship. Our lecturer talked about award, provision of infrastructure. I can attest to the fact that there are several scholarship awards that have been given, even this year, to our students by the Alumni Association. I know we are going bigger and bigger by the day, but the Alumni Association have been doing relatively well. So, my president, I am not going to make stories about that, but I just want to greet our people and all our visitors. I greet all the alumni body that this other side of the divide. I can see all of you directors, former registrar and professor. Professor Mrs. Ajayi, I can see you there, and all other members of the high table. I want to greet you on behalf of Madam Vice Chancellor. Our friend and my Oga, the lecturer of the day, Professor Francis Igbasan of Mafasi University. Sorry, this is personal. We are expecting you. We know that you've been doing this here and there, all over the state. You have been giving out this thing that FUTA deposited in you. And you have done it almost all the major tertiary institutions in the state. And you have gone outside the state too. Nigeria is benefiting from what this university has inputted, and everywhere is benefiting. FUTA is a place where you build character, where you inculcate the right path of learning. And in terms of innovation, all over the world, FUTA is there. Talk about any organization, talk about ICT, you see our alumni. everywhere. So thank you very much for coming to deliver this lecture. I think we all know that we have made the best choice in the person of Professor Igbasan for this lecture. Part of what he has told us, again, I want to greet everyone that is here, professors, our visitors, and everyone that is in this hall. Thank you for coming. The lecture has been well delivered, and particularly we have some challenges that have been mentioned: deteriorating infrastructures in universities, the issue of power and electricity, and you will agree with me that it's a major stumbling block in the university system as we speak. Yeah, I was surprised when the lecturer talked about something less than 10 million of electricity. I was saying, is it just one room or one building? For your information, before the advent of Band A, the university was paying something around 45 or thereabout million. Yeah, you will ask, how do we make up when we receive just about 10 million from the federal government and we pay 45 million? But nobody will ask that question. But all you know is that we don't have light. Students will say, you can't cut off our light. Our colleagues will say, why are we here? And we are in university and we are doing research. But when the Band A came, I think our bill rose to about 150 million per month. And we need to service the university. And that was why you discovered that the university had to go on power sharing. But in the wisdom of Madam Vice Chancellor, like the lecturer has said, we decided to power some of our major buildings and lecture theaters with solar system. And that is ongoing. People can testify, which the lecturer had mentioned. We need to look at ways to ameliorate the situation. But the same 10 million naira still subsists. And 10 million. Government is not looking the other way. It doesn't want to know whether that is a problem or it's not a problem. But I like the lecture that has revealed that the provision of infrastructure cannot be left in the hands of the university alone. Our alumni must be in the forefront, and we must carry that banner. University too must devise means of improving on the finances in the university. He mentioned endowment, he mentioned most of these things, which is correct. And I want to say that he has dished out all these things because of his experience in the educational system. You will agree with me that he is loaded in that respect. Can we give him a round of applause? One particular advice that I learned from the lecture is that we as alumni must establish sustainable endowments that will create scholarship for students. I underscore it. We must establish sustainable endowments that will create scholarship for students. I hope I'm correct. Why I underscore that is that we don't want to do it once and for all. You just get there, do it, and you go. You must continue to do it. The example that he had, I know about Massachusetts University, I know about Warwick, I know about some other university. They are the ones, alumni is the one that has been running the university. And we can get to that. The only way for us to get to that is to be able to sustain it. He mentioned that we must always reach out. We must always make everybody somebody. Do you understand that? To make everybody somebody, you must catch them. You must connect them everywhere they are. I hope I'm not giving any another lecture. Yes, I am told to moderate the question and answer time. Let me just stop there. The student loan is one of those things he mentioned, and his student loan is on. We must encourage our students. We must sensitize them. In this country, sometimes when something comes up, before it fades out, some of us will not even get there. Only a set of people will be enjoying it. And that was what happened when this thing came out. People from the north, from some area, those were the ones. In actual fact, can I inform you that we were almost begging students to apply. You know, there are conditions to do it. So, and if you don't apply, you can never be given. Some of us were saying a lie. And some of us were saying, how do we pay back? And the condition for paying back is very simple. When you get a job. And it's just like, they are giving you free. So let's encourage our students. Let's encourage our wards. Let's encourage our parents too. Some of our parents don't even understand these things. So thank you, sir, lecturer, for giving us this wonderful lecture. Let me stop here and ask if, I know that with this summary, I think all of us will have one or thing in mind, but for want of time, we want to take just 3 questions from the audience. I just take one from this side, one from the middle, and one from this. So can I see your hands up? Questions from this side? Yeah, I'll come to this side. From here? Yes, ma'am. Prof, that's number 1. Yes, here, number 2. Anybody from this other side? Okay, we have just 2 questions. Where is the 3rd one? Okay, you are sitting by the 2nd person. That's all right. We're going to take these 3 questions. May I ask that you go straight to the question? The lecture has been well delivered and summarized. So just ask your question. Zach, are you ready for us?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the lecture, sir. I was going through, at my relaxing period, I was going through TikTok, and I got a student of a university who put it on TikTok about his department. And this is what they were saying is, inú ìgbèkùn ni mo wà nígbà kan mi ò mọ̀. Bóyá inú ìgbèkùn ni mo wà nígbà kan mi ò mọ̀. That is, he put the signpost of his department. And then the background song was saying, inú ìgbèkùn lòun wà nígbà kan. That is, it was a bondage at a particular point in time. Sir, how do we, because we the teachers, we the university teachers, we are the very first group of people who first of all will bring good relationship that will bring back our students to look at us later after they have graduated and bring back to the university. How do you encourage us so that that relationship between our students when they were still with us, and how will that affect their relationship with the university after they had left? Looking at a student putting the banner of his department somewhere on TikTok where everybody throughout the world will see, and saying that he was in bondage at a particular point in time.
Thank you very much, sir. My name is Shaba Victor Kayode. Permit me to stand on the established protocol. I want to thank the lecturer of today, it's my Oga. When we were students, you used to give us scholarship then. I could remember. We talked about we have talked about scholarship today here, and I asked a question from the president. The president said we should wait for you, as if we were here that time. And we have answered the question that I had my president, the Alumni Association, to raise the bar of the scholarship given to the students. Said we will answer the question, and we have answered the question. And no, he has taken the import of that message now. And then number two, the infrastructural problem we talk about concerning the education system. I want to put the blame on government. Why? Because government, they know what they should do and they are not doing it. I want to use this analogy. My school, my old school, secondary school, St. Thomas Aquinas College, built by the foreigners. The first set of people there, they are not up to 50. You could see the structure they built. They think about future. But government, our government don't think about future. They think to solve the immediate problem. They don't want to think about the future. That's why they are holding the money. Instead of releasing money to the university to do what is necessary, they will give university permission to build 3 or 4-story building. At the end of the day, they will reduce it. They are positive of 1, they reduce it to 2. And they will be wasting land. Aquinas College, before the structure began from the state government, from the government, it was around 2000. And I left the place late 90. It was around 2000 when they started building their own structure. But what we discover is that just one small bungalow. Instead of putting those bungalows together and erect a structure that we, get that will absorb the people and don't waste space. At the end of the day, they will now discover that the building will not be able to contain the students. They will pull it down. What they have spent money on to build another structure. That is what we are saying. The blame is entirely on government. They are not helping the system. And I want them to, My Excellency, please just try to advise this government concerning this particular system. I want to do it to change this narrative. Or do it to change. Even though we have been doing that, you can see the building, the administrative building at Akumba. You can see that one can go a long time. You can see some structure there. And Akumba is not having space like Futa, but you can see the space, the structure they are doing over there, erecting over there. Thank you very much.
My name is Dr. Barrister Falaole Kendi, essay to the Governor of the State and the product of Futa. I feel that there is a need for Futa to generate electricity and some other things to the public. There was a lecture that took place when Professor Jenny, who was my former lecturer, was alive. I asked that question, that why was it that Futa could not produce in Asputa, we are technology university? And the answer was given that day, dejected my mind by the professor, by our VC then, who answered the question in that hall. He said, we are only made to produce students, so we are only made to teach students to knowing how to produce. And when they get out there, they produce. I was disturbed that day. And that medium came where I had the same question. It was the same answer. So we can work on this, as this has just been told us by Professor Igbasan. Secondly, Futa can also go into production of certain things. Mommy is there, the head of the department is there, Professor Damola. There are certain, we call ourselves, we have introduced entrepreneurship and so on. But all this, when students are coming in, let them know, let them be faced with reality of life. That whatever they learn here, and they put in practice, that can work for them when they get out there. Thirdly, we should, when we produce students, we produce us, Futa. As we go out there, it's unfortunate that Futa do not look back onto their alma mater, or into the students they produce. Many of us outside there expecting that which way can we help Futa? For instance, my governor over there is ready to help us in as much as, though he's a dancing governor, but as he dances, he does so many things for people. He makes people happy. And so, if Futa can find a way of winning some of us who are from there to bring him down to this place, tell him what you did. Probably let him know that we want him to come and build a building for us. And you name it on his name. I am assuring you, it will do. We should know our leaders. We should know what they want. Many of them want them to be celebrated. When you do that, we have a student here, an ex-student, who happen to be a member of House of Assembly. It can be used with some of us who are there in the government. But unfortunately, our people, we are not really made use of. If we are made use of, I'm assuring us we can go. Finally, students' endowment, sir. I start to wondering the method and methodology we're going to use to increase fees, to increase money, to bring in this endowment. Most of the students we're having, many of them are engineering students. And immediately they mentioned that a particular amount of money have been added. You see them running about, hey, futa. And we should only find a way of explaining to them, of making them to know why and the reasons why endowment fund should be added. And the method we're going to use, we have to generate it so that we did not get out there and start saying some other things. And we should also let the alumnus, we should find a way of getting this money out from us too. We should find a way, and God will help us.
Our lecturer will respond. I think we have just one basic question. The other two just contributions.
Thank you very much, sir. Well, Prof, you talked about our students putting things on WhatsApp, putting things on TikTok that will affect the image of the university. It boils down to relationship building. Relationship building. Normally, when I address my staff, those of us in private institutions, we know how to take care of students very well. But in public, we undermine a lot of things. And that's actually affecting the image of the university. There was a time when, during the time of, I think, Professor Daramola or what is his name, Balogun, there was a particular alumnus that the advancement center went to him, and he mentioned that if so lecturer is still in that department, I will not come back to do anything in that place. Don't Professor Daramola. Yes. As lecturers, we must see these students as our children. The way we treat our children at home, that is the way we should treat these students. Nowadays, their generation is quite different from our own generation. The way they think, the way they analyze issues are quite different from the way we do things. So, if we take them as our children, the way we treat our children, the relationship will continue even after the student must have left the system. And that will affect the university. It will affect the university. If you treat a student very well, you behave as a father, you behave as a mother to your students. You don't look down on them. Most cases, we look down on these students. And that is what is happening in public universities. Even in teaching them, in lecturing them, any student that has problems, the way I look at things is that if a student comes to the university, although I'm from a private, my own thinking is different now, because I work in private university. If a student enters my university, I must make sure that no matter the situation, the student will graduate, will leave the university. Dr. Alowolodun, you know Dr. Alowolodun, who did sabbatical with me. There is a particular student which I told her that she should be going to his room to bring him to classroom. We go to that extent. Ask Professor Alowolodun every morning. Professor Alowolodun will ask the student, where are you? Sometimes he will say, I'm still on my bed. I have not taken my bath. No, I'm not taking your bath. That's lecture. We will call the porter and the porter will go there to bring the student out, and the student will come to classroom. Eventually, the student will graduate from the system. At the end of the day, if the normal student that will think back and say, what I have become today because somebody has helped as parents, do we see these students as our children? We must do that. That will go charging students more money, asking them. That is what we call silent, I don't know how to call it now, but when you want to charge students, you devise a way of asking them to pay the money and they will pay. We have learned how to raise funds. If you don't raise funds, the private university, you cannot survive because there is no subvention. You have to pay your workers. You cannot survive because there is no subvention. You have to pay your workers. On 20th, 22nd of every month, I must pay my workers. 22nd, 23rd, maximum 23rd. So, if we ask students to pay full time with a population of, I don't know the population, but we should be over 10,000, 15,000 now. Charge students for 5,000. Nobody will complain. That 5,000 goes into a different account. For 2 years, you will know the amount of it. I mentioned $20 here. $20 in America is nothing now. $20 Canadian dollars. We will ask you to donate 20 Canadian dollars. But we will put it as US dollar because Canadian dollar is not difficult to find. We just go, we do for $20 and we send it to them all over the world. And that is a lot of money at the end of the day. So, charge students at 5,000 naira. You can't do the way we do in private universities. Like the endowment I talked about. 100 level students, when you are coming in, you pay 100,000. That is the endowment. 100,000, 100 level. But Stellites, they pay 50,000. That is 50,000 you pay until you graduate. You pay it every year. 100 students, 100 level pay 100,000. And by the time you collect that money, by the time I will be leaving that place, I should be raising 2 billion. That will be the endowment. About 2 billion will be in that endowment. So any vice chancellor that will be taking over from me will see that as what? As money. So that is the way you charge students and they will not complain. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Igbasan. Gradually, we are coming to the end of this lecture. We'll have an award for 3 alumnus. The first person is our guest lecturer, Professor Igbasan. Please, sir, can you step forward? While I invite His Excellency, the Governor of Ondo State, represented by Dr. Wumi Ilawole, to do the presentation. The Vice Chancellor, representative of the Vice Chancellor should join. The alumni presidents should also join in the presentation.
On behalf of the global leadership of Futai Alumni Association, it is my honor and pleasure to present to you this award in recognition of your commitment to Futai Alumni Association worldwide.
You can have your seat, ma'am. Thank you very much. The next person is Engineer Gbenga Owolabi. And I would like to invite our Vice Chancellor, before you sit, let the Special Advisor on Gender to Mr. Governor join in this presentation and the Futai Alumni President. Citation. Okay. Please, you can have your seat. After the citation, I will invite you back. Please, let me take a summary of the citation. Please, can you step forward? Owolabi Gbenga Ayodele, PhD, FIMAREST, PMB, CBAP, CEng, COREN, MEI, EURING, ACI. Thank you very much. Commercial Manager, Annual Gas Processing Company Limited. Dr. Owolabi Gbenga Ayodele is an alumnus of the Federal University of Technology, Akure, with a BTech in Physics, Electronics, and later further his education with an MSc, Subsea Engineering, University of Strathclyde, University of Glasgow, UK, PhD Mechanical and Aerospace Engineering, Glasgow, UK, Certificate in Negotiation Mastery, Harvard University Business School, and Diploma in Petroleum Economics and Management, Paris, France. He's widely traveled and his works had connected him to different professional bodies within Nigeria and internationally. Dr. Gbenga is a professional engineer, commercial expert and a researcher with over 20 years of post-qualification and professional experience, mainly spent in the oil and gas sector and briefly in the banking sector. He's currently the commercial manager for Annual Gas Processing Company Limited, a 50/50 NNPC separate company. Was formerly an oil and gas lead strategy and planning specialist at NETCO, manager project engineering and maintenance, NNPC retail, managed over 500 filling stations, outlets nationwide. He has managed quite a few international energy, oil and gas projects and is enthusiastic about developing a deeper understanding of science, engineering, technology and leadership with interest in advanced technology. His achievements in the NNPC is supervised from end to end the operations of ExxonMobil, Shell, Ajib, Total, Chevron, and Grid Cornwall for decades. Negotiated high-value maintenance contracts with huge cost savings and managed the APO FPSO valuation and technical audit. Engineer Dr. Owolabi Gbenga Ayodele has consistently supported FUTA students with scholarships tagged Renaissance support since 2018, and no fewer than 216 students, both indigent and best students, had benefited from his magnanimity. He also constructed and donated water borehole with drinkable outlets at the School of Physics Science building. Lastly, he has published over 5 technical papers on journals and has several conference papers to his credit. His Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Engineer Owolabi Gbenga Ayodele for his award. I would like to invite our Vice Chancellor.
Thank you very much. It's always a big privilege for me to usually make such award presentation to my boy, Engineer Owolabi. I wish to mention that sometimes ago we had a School of Physical Sciences annual lecture here, where, that was last year, where I personally requested that the scholarship award is given to students in physics be extended to the university. I have on good notes today that that has been extended to the university. Several other things that is doing for the university started with physics, but in its magnanimity, we requested that the university too should benefit. He had been doing it, And I don't know whether it's by coincidence or by design. Each time he's receiving an award here, I will be the one to present. So I'm privileged. Again, another thing is that his resume in the oil and gas sector is very intimidating. And sometimes some of us teachers, when we see the resume of our students and we see the way they are performing, we have very great joy in our hearts. So it's a privilege, I'm happy, and I think it's a challenge. It's giving back to the system. It's a challenge to all of us. Nothing is too small. It started small, but God is making it bigger and bigger every day. Yeah, you will continue to soar higher on the good ways. Thank you so much. And on behalf of the President, FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide, and all members of the association in Akure, in FUTA, in America, in UK, in Yugoslavia, everywhere in the world, I present to you this award of recognition, which is given as a result of your commitment to FUTA Alumni Association and our students worldwide. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. The last presentation goes to FUTA North America Alumni, FUTANA. Please, who is representing that group? So please step forward. Who is representing FUTANA to receive this award? Who is representing FUTANA, please, for this award? The Vice President. Yes. No. Yeah. Let me quickly give just a brief profile of FUTA and North America alumni. FUTANA, the Federal University of Technology, Akure North America alumni, is a gathering of all alumni of FUTA who are residents in North America, specifically the United States, Canada, and the Caribbean islands. The foundations of FUTANA were laid over a decade ago when various graduates of FUTA decided to come together and form an umbrella body. But it was not until several years later, on February 28, 2018, that the WhatsApp group was created by Mr. Tunji James, popularly known as TJ, of the 1992 matric set and a former director of socials of Akindeko Hall. The WhatsApp group became a rallying and online meeting point for alumni of a great university. Mr. Bumiola Dujoye of the 1992 matric set became the first president, assisted by a team drawn from different generations. Under his leadership, the alumni registered itself with the US government and over the years began to develop programs to benefit members and impact FUTA, including the following: 2020 COVID FUTA support. With many people struggling during the COVID lockdown, FUTANA raised several millions of naira and donated foodstuffs to staff and residents of the FUTA neighborhood. In 2021, donation of 30 brand new laptops worth over 20 million naira to FUTA. In 2022, donation of 1 million naira scholarship to FUTA students. In 2024, donation of 5 million naira scholarship to FUTA students. FUTANA is positioning itself to continue to impact its members and FUTA, and also works with the FUTA diaspora. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you FUTA North America alumni for this award, while I invite the special advisor to the governor on gender, Chief Mrs. Olamide Falana, to do the presentation, the former registrar of our institution, Professor Modupe Ajayi, to join, and also the FUTA Alumni National President.
This award is presented to FUTA North America Alumni FUTANA in recognition of your commitment to FUTA Alumni Association worldwide, and also an encouragement to do more in the future. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Sorry, I have to break this protocol quickly. Yesterday we had this national working committee meeting by the FUTA Alumni Association worldwide. I want all NWC members here, please come out. All NWC members, so that we can quickly do this, what we all agreed to do. This letter is going to one of our own, because sometimes you see a goal, you recognize a goal. And we are trying to adjust strategies in the way we run the affairs of the alumni. Sometimes you create committees to do some things. The NWC yesterday unanimously agreed to give one of our own, who is here, our Venezuela Award, Engineer Dr. Gwenga Awolabi. This appointment letter, which I will read to you, Engineer Awolabi, please come forward. My senior, you are all part of it. This is the assignment you asked me to give to him. And what we are talking about here is the convention. We are saying to you, Dr. Gwenga Awolabi, yes sir, appointment as chairman, FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide CBT Building Project. This officially informs you that the National Working Committee NWC FUTA Alumni Association Worldwide, at its meeting held on 27 November 2024, unanimously agreed to appoint you to oversee the completion of the 500-seater capacity computer-based test CBT building under construction. The building is being funded by the alumni body. I want to use your capacity and networks to help facilitate the completion of the building before the next convention in November 2025. Your passion and unwavering support to our alumni bodies and to the growth of the university has earned you this recognition, and we believe you will use your good office to rally support for this task. You are by this letter given the authority to nominate any member or members you deem fit to assist you in this assignment. All the drawings and the bill of quantity will be made available to you. Please accept the assurances of our esteemed regard. Sincerely, Somebody President and the General Secretary. Thank you. For you alone, for all of us, including me, every member, we are assuring you, our own Kobo will come into it, but we just want you to coordinate it, you and you alone. You have the right to do that. Before the next convention, we want to see that building completed. God bless you. Thank you, and God bless you.
Good afternoon, alumni body, the president, all my lecturers here. It's a great honor to be awarded this huge gift, and this award is dedicated to God and to all the students that at least are performing well, most especially the 500 levels that we have been supporting their final project. So I dedicate that award to them because I get feedback, I got feedback every time that, oh, at least, even for physics alone, that about 4 or 5 of them are already in abroad, are studying their masters. And their project has been something that has been so fantastic, because I remember the last time I came here, some of them were displayed there, and these are projects that are sustainable, and that is what we want, sustainability. I appreciate the award, I appreciate the alumni. Alumni has been doing fantastically well, but I can say that we can do better. We can do better. With this responsibility, I think we can go beyond where we are now to where we want to be, or to the next level. And on this occasion, I just want to make, because when I was there, I was pressed. Then I went to the toilet, to the gents, and I couldn't even spend up to 1 minute before I rush out, because the place was. So I think I can seize this opportunity to say, I will upgrade it, and I will replace some of the things there. I know it may not be immediate, but I promise that toilet, because people use this hall, which is which is the biggest hall we have, because I remember this hall. This is where I had my matriculation as far back as 1995, and it will be good if VIP people come here and they want to do 1 or 2 things to see the gent as something that is accommodated. So I promise that I will do that. And for this, so far I have the support of all the alumni. So far I have the support of the technical and National Working Committee. So far I have the support of the president. I will try my best. I know it's huge, but I will try my best in making sure that that project, at least before the next convention, is at a stage that people will appreciate. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I would like to invite the Vice President for a brief vote of thanks. Thank you very much.
Great Futarian! Great Futarian! You have all been wonderful since 10 a.m. I want to give us 3 Bosa. Bosa! 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 On behalf of Alumni Executive and National Working Committee, we want to say a big thank you for your presence and your contribution towards the success of 2024 convention. The representative of the governor, we want to appreciate you for your support always. Thank you, and our regards to Mr. Governor. I believe he might have received our letter concerning Futa Southgate Road. Please remind him. To our own that we have blown now, Professor Igbasan, thank you, sir. Our Vice Chancellor, we want to say thank you. You are our own, you are part of us. And essay to the governor on gender. Thank you, ma'am, for coming. We appreciate you. All our directors and our Director Advanced Center, our advisor, our guidance, our supporter, our Dajola Jibe, we want to say thank you for organizing this, for supporting us to organize a good and successful convention. To all our directors, our own. Dr. Olabi, we cannot thank you enough. God will continue to bless you. We appreciate you. Futarian, we want to say thank you for your patience since 10 a.m. till now. All glory to God. Thank you all for coming. God bless you. Johnny Messi. Thank you, the media, the Futa Radio, the public, the security, the directors of works. We say thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. I just want to inform the House that the Vice President of Futa Alumni Worldwide just bestowed on me secretly our honorary alumni of Futa Worldwide. Thank you very much, the Vice President. Having come to the end of this gathering, I would like to request us all to rise first for Futa Anthem and then the national anthem. Then thereafter we take a quick photograph.
Praise Futarians, praise Futarians, never winning, never leaving, never peaceful, not the second loss of technology.
A group photograph at the foyer of this auditorium with our guests on the high table. Okay, here, this side again. This side again. This side again. Is it here or outside?
Let's do it outside.
Outside.